Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Usually we do front page news right now, but we got the brother Ed Gordon on the line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Ed, how are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored. I know you've seen a few of these in your lifetime, man. None quite like this, though. So what you think the world gonna look like after the day?
Man, you know, I pray that the world looks like that we will pull that moving van up to the White House and get this idiot out of the Oval, as I like to say. You know, throughout my career, I have never come out against publicly any president who sat in office, even those that I disagreed with vehemently on a policy side. But this man is dangerous. We've been saying it now for 4 years. Dangerous, incompetent. He has appointed all of these federal judges, all the things that we've said that will affect us long before he leaves, whether he leaves in January of 2021 or whether he leaves in another 4 years. He has impacted our lives negatively for a long, long time, man. So we got to get out there. I posted an article on BET.com yesterday, and I'm still amazed at the black folk who sometimes say just pushing people to vote is putting too much on our community. Why is everybody, blaming us for the vote? Why is everybody suggesting that it's up to us? It is up to us. This is one of the few times that we really have the opportunity to have a push and a sway in how our lives are affected in this nation. And so anybody who is in these swing states who is registered and has yet to vote needs to get out online. When we lost C.T. Vivian and John Lewis, we all talked about their legacy and what we were going to do. Well, no better way to salute those men than to vote today.
And we're talking about the states like Michigan, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Ohio. Those are the names when we really need
Florida,
black people to get out there and vote. In Pennsylvania, yes.
Philly's got to turn out. Pittsburgh, turn out. We got to do this.
Now, also, you're hosting a special, NAACP, to host a 2-day special talking about the black voter experience. And we were telling people they got to be careful. Go with each other because they're going to be trying to intimidate us like crazy. Talk about that a little bit.
That's right. I've been doing these, and Charlamagne was part of one of them, these town hall meetings throughout the pandemic for the NAACP. And so we wanted to do something on election night. CNN will have great coverage, MS will have great coverage, but we also wanted to give us an opportunity to give what we say is unfettered, black perspective. And so from 7 to midnight, and we may go a little longer, I'll be on anchoring with Derek Johnson. He'll be coming in and out, CEO of the NAACP. But we got people like Michael Eric Dyson and Jamel Hill. D.L. Hughley will be on with us. The list goes on, and we'll be talking about, where we sit throughout the evening. We'll have elected officials. We'll also be taking phone calls. We want to hear from people. If voter intimidation is going on, we need to hear it. NAACP is going to dispatch people to these polls. So, we're going to do as much as we can to be protective of, our ability to get out there because it's go time. It's go time.
I'm with you on getting this fascist out the White House, right? But I don't think that I don't think what the Democrats are doing is a sustainable model. Because when you think about the base of the Democratic Party, black women, black men, them stand to lose us because every presidential election is the same thing. Show up for Democrats, but when they going to show up for us is a question so many black people keep asking.
Right. Two things, and I will agree with you 1,000%. One of the problems is Democrats have been outplayed politically for years and years and years. When you have numbers every time you go into an election, but somehow you can't turn those numbers out to defeat your opponent, something's wrong. The other thing is it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we start playing the game past Election Day. Too many of us think Election Day is your last day. You did your duty and now you walk away and you wait for things to happen. Election Day should be day one for you, particularly if your candidate gets in office. Because the only reason that Joe Biden won the nomination is because of black folk in South Carolina.
That's right. Jim
There's
Clyburn.
no ifs, ands, or buts. Had he lost that, it's over. He's done. So what we've got to do is make sure that we play the game beyond tonight, particularly if Biden wins. And so I agree with you 1,000%, though. Democrats are going to have to find a new model. and a new way of doing things. And we can no longer be accepting of, the cliche of them showing up at a black church every 4 years,
That's right.
giving us hugs and, putting a couple of dollars in the plate, and we're happy. And to the CBC and black leaders, I say it's not enough for you to be just invited to the Christmas party at the White House and, take pictures in the Rose Garden, and you're cool with that. We've been struggling as a community for far too long. Too long. It's unacceptable for us to take any leader, black, white, or otherwise, taking us for granted anymore.
Well, we're talking to Ed Gordon, and you mentioned the first day should be when the president starts. So if Biden wins, what would you want for him, for black Americans, for the first, let's say the first year, first 100 days?
I mean, I never look at that. That's that artificial number the media made up. We like to look at the first 100 days. You look at most people's first 100 days, they don't do a damn thing in those first 100 days. What I would like, though, is I'm again placing it more on our leadership to have asks. What are we walking in those first 100 days and say, this is what we want. This is what we want for our vote. And part of the issue with any group is who goes in and makes that ask. Right. Back in the day, and we were never in lockstep. It was never one leader. It was never that we all followed King, never that we all followed Malcolm or Marcus or anyone. But there were groups that had more of a sway, and it was a more a singular thought of where we were going. We got disparate asks now. These leaders are going to have to determine to a great degree amongst themselves. And part of that is just, political and who's networked and who's closer. But what are you going in and ask for? And I think that we have to look at, for me, police reform, real police reform with teeth is something that impacts all of us. I'm 60 years old, man. If I throw this hoodie up and I ride in a car, I could be pulled over, shot and killed by police and law enforcement.
That's because you look 30, though. That's because you look 30.
I don't know about looking 30, bro. I appreciate it, but the idea that we used to say, oh, young black men are in danger. We're all in danger, man.
That's right. You
got to look the little bit of melanin I got rolling. I'm in danger, right? So we have to make sure that we do not take this any longer. We've been silent and docile too long, and it's time for us to keep this fervor up. I just did an interview with Felonious Floyd, George Floyd's brother, and he got emotional. He said, "Mr. Gordon, I'm struggling, and we as a community continue to struggle, and we've got to back one another up. Literally stand back to back, keep each other's back, and we can no longer, be sidelined and sidetracked by the foolishness we've been sidelined and sidetracked for too long."
Yeah, for all of us who got platforms, voices, it's up to us to connect with folks who are already doing the work and help them push those demands they are making, whether it's on a local level, national level, whatever.
Yeah, we talked to Amanda Seals. It'll be on tonight during our coverage. And you can find that coverage on the NAACP social platforms, on my Facebook page. Bounce is carrying it on their digital channels. It'll be all over. And you can go to my Instagram at Ed L. Gordon and get the information. But Amanda said the exact same thing. She said, look, I've got a platform. Now, she said in the interview that she's a learned woman from Columbia, has studied policy and the like. She said, but she said, I'm not an organizer. I'm not a politician. But I have a platform. And you're absolutely right, man. Those of us who have, been blessed with a platform need to utilize it with the right people, And look, rappers have every bit, actors have every bit, singers have every bit the right to have a voice, but that does not mean you follow them for, your political insight, quote unquote. You can if you choose, but, I don't want to do that. God bless them all, but I don't want to put our future in their hands.
I agree.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we appreciate you for checking in, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, King.